start, what I'd like to do is first talk about very briefly what BIM 360 is not. And sometimes you have misconceptions on who the product is for, who it's not for, and I just kind of wanted to clarify some of that. First of all, what BIM 360 is not is it's not for just one individual who is involved in the construction process. It's not just for a BIM manager. It is not for just a contractor or project manager. It is an inclusive product suite which enables individuals from multiple disciplines to help increase the efficiencies that you're trying to remove in managing a project. It is not a series of point solutions. Although there are various modules within the product suite, and they are tightly integrated to manage the entire workflow as you're managing a project, as you're completing a project, but they are also stand alone, the individual modules themselves, because we understand that you may be using something else, or you may have individual needs that do not span currently across the entire BIM process. It is not simply a collection of iOS apps in which you need Wi-Fi connections. Of course, as a cloud-based solution, it is most efficient when everyone is in, getting real-time data, updating information, but also we understand there are times that you're not going to be able to do that, so you are able to work offline and sync your data back as you need. And BIM 360 is not just BIM 360 Glue. BIM 360 Glue is simply a module within the whole suite, which was designed to help you on the design side of the BIM 360 suite. Now, we just talked a little bit about what BIM 360 is not. Let's talk a little bit about what it is. And what BIM 360 is a product suite which is designed to empower individuals and to be able to help you accelerate project delivery by maintaining quality and by maintaining and/or reducing cost. From a technical perspective, if you go to the next slide, Brittany. From a technical perspective, the way we're able to accomplish this is by the cloud-based single platform that will allow all individuals who are involved in the project, whether it is the owner, general contractors, CMs, subcontractors, architects, consultants, will be able to receive pertinent information for them to make the right decisions at the right time to be able to streamline the project delivery process. This can be done from a desktop, your laptop, your iPad, and even your iPhone, depending on what you're doing and what part of the solution you need access to. So, by having the ability to have a single, reliable platform, and everyone who needs to access information will help you reduce risk. And as we know, risk is the biggest issue as it pertains to trying to maintain project delivery as far as being on time and on budget. So by having this single environment and empowering other individuals to be able to access that information, just by that collaborative effort, just by those collaborative capabilities, you're going to see a reduction in cost. You're going to see a reduction in rework. You're going to see a maintaining and or decreasing in time it's going to take you to deliver. It's also going to give you true data reliability because you won't have to worry about, are we working on the right model? Are we working on the most up-to-date plans? Because that information will exist in the environment that you're working in. So, because you're able to work in that environment to help you reduce risk, this is how we're going to help you accelerate project delivery. And just to summarize a little bit, enabling, in which you're going to be able to see this information anytime, anywhere. You're going to be able to see what's pertinent to you and what you need to deliver. It's going to deliver information specific to your needs. And because we work just by nature within the construction industry, tend to work in individual silos, This is helping to it's helping to reduce that nomenclature, if you will, in the sense that by connecting all of the disciplines that are involved in a project, which is going to help us curtail any issues or most of the issues that we may have. Again, on the standard platform, it's providing a shared database. So again, when it comes to at the end of the project, when we need to hand over that information to the owner or the owner agent, we'll be able to do that in a seamless fashion. And then I think what's extremely important is if we are successful in accelerating the delivery of this project to increasing quality, we can take that information and use those same practices and processes in future projects to come, which will help us become more efficient and help us give us more time to be able to do more work. And the overall benefits by being able to accelerate your project delivery is that the reality is that we have to maintain budgets, of course, and you will see a significant amount of your budget is wasted because of the inefficiencies of communication, just because of the nature of the business. This will help curtail those issues in doing so. You'll also be able to maximize your resources in the sense of you'll be able to track equipment and people in a much more efficient way under an individual one platform and one environment. You'll be able to increase or at least maintain profitability because we'll be able to curtail on rework because we're not coordinating properly as it pertains to what's being done or what was designed versus what we're doing in the field. And you'll be able to increase construction quality and maintain construction quality because we'll have a lot more visibility on really what's going on compared to what's planned. Okay, so kind of in summary, when the main overall ability of BIM 360 is aligning what is being planned versus what is being performed, and being able to see the latest merge models and being able to put out the proper points in the field, being able to have your individuals in the field be able to report back in real time as far as this may be what we're planning, but this is really what's going on, is really going to help you become much, much more efficient and help you be able to reduce time and decrease cost for all projects that you're working on. The next slide that I have is really just an example of some of our customers that we have. Again, one misconception is that it's just for contractors, but we have a large number of CMs and owners/developers, as well as architects and engineers that architects and engineer firms that take advantage of it, of BIM 360, and are able to show significant increases as it pertains to quality and, of course, reducing cost within their organizations. The next slide I have here is some examples of return on investment. Some of our longer-term customers, if you will. For example, Skanska is a long-term customer of not only Autodesk, but of BIM 360. And for a good 10 of their major projects that they use BIM 360 on, they've been able to quantify that they've been able to save a good 9 hours per user per week as it pertains to simply collaborating and being able to get issues from the field back into the office and be able to coordinate those efforts to resolve or move forward. And as we all know, that's extremely significant as it pertains to, many of you know what it costs per hour in different aspects of the project and what that really saves you. Martin Mallow, as another example, by using BIM 360 for 2 specific projects, is that they were able to reduce that concrete layout prep by 88%, and of course that's very significant in cost savings. So lastly, before we go into Austin's presentation, I just wanted to give you a little visual view of the modules that currently BIM 360 include. Today we're going to emphasize on 2 of them. BIM 360 Glue, which is the design, phase portion of the suite, which will help you with collaboration and clash detection, as it refers to being able to merge models and the ability to be able to curtail issues before we even start construction. And a part of BIM 360 Glue is point layout, which allows you, of course, to take those points from those models and send them in the field to maybe a robotic total station, and then measure those, of course, to your as-built. And then BIM 360 Field, which helps you with issue tracking. And one thing I may want to make clear is that issues are not necessarily things that are problems. Issue is anything that is pertinent to what's going on in your project. Submittals, punch list, anything that you see that needs to be recorded within the project. Two modules that we're not going to really emphasize on today, but we will be talking about more within our seminar series, BIM 360 Plan. And many of you are probably familiar with scheduling tools such as Microsoft Projects and Primavera P6. And they are very good, excellent, high-level scheduling tools. But when it comes down to the crew level, in which many of you are probably familiar with, you're in a room and you have all these stickies and trying to figure out what you're going to work on today and next week and maybe the week after. BIM 360 Plan is a solution, a production scheduling solution that will help you at that level and help you become much more efficient as it comes to scheduling and give you metrics on where you're being successful and where you're not. And then finally, Building Ops. What Building Ops does is it collects information from BIM 360 Field, and it collects that handover, that commissioning information, and imports it into Ops. So from day one, all that asset information that is contained within that building, all of that information is in Building Ops, and that owner or owner rep will be able to manage that facility from day one, in which, of course, you're going to be managing that facility a lot longer than you are going to be building it.